Hello guys, how are you doing? This is your Dr. Mantari Shiva. In this video, we are going to cover about RC circuits, which is from electrostatic chapter. Okay, generally in a DC circuit, where you have one capacitor along with the resistor. Okay, how this capacitor is going to undergo charging process and discharging process is what we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, first of all, charging of a capacitor. Okay, so here if you see, this is the resistor and this is the capacitor. Okay, then there is a cell here and one more key here. Okay, resistance, capacitance, EMF V, key K. Okay, so now whatever the EMF of the cell should be equal to the potential drop across C plus potential drop across R, isn't it? So otherwise you can use KVL also, you'll get the same answer. Anything is alright. Next, VC is nothing but potential drop across capacitor is generally, let us say charge Q is deposited in this capacitor. Then Q by C is the potential drop across capacitor. Next, VR is nothing but potential drop across resistance is IR according to Ohm's law. So V is equal to Q by C plus IR. Now if I just take this, what is current? Rate of flow of charge carriers. Okay, so that is equal to V. Now let me take Q by C to the other side. V minus Q by C is equal to dQ by dt times R. Now let me take LCM. CV minus Q by C is equal to dQ by dt into R. Okay, let me take let me separate all the key variables to one side and all the remaining other variables to another side. So here dq divided by CV minus Q should be equal to, what is that, dt by RC, isn't it? Now if I take integration on both sides, if I apply integration on both sides, so what is this? It's like integral 1 by ax plus b dx, that is nothing but a log of ax plus b divided by the coefficient of x. So here also same thing, log of CV minus Q divided by, what is the coefficient of Q here? -1, which is equal to t. Integral dt is nothing but t, and RC, 1 by RC is anyway constant. Now the limits of this guy. So generally at a time t is equal to 0, we are not going to have any charge there. That means Q is equal to 0 in a capacitor. Now let us say in time t, the charge in the within this capacitor is say Q now. Okay. Now let us just substitute those. So let me take this minus to other side, minus to this side, and limits of this guy Q are from 0 to Q, whereas time limits are 0 to t. Now if I substitute this upper limit, it will be CV minus Q minus log of CV minus 0, right? So we'll get log CV. That is equal to, if I substitute the upper limit, I'll get minus t by RC. If I substitute the lower limit, I get 0. So log A minus log B is nothing but log A by B. Log A by B is equal to minus t by RC. Now CV minus Q by CV is equal to e power minus t by RC. Now let me take CV to the other side, CV, isn't it? Next, I want to find out Q from this equation. Q is equal to, so I am taking Q to the other side, then CV whole is term to the left side. Then if I take common, CV common, 1 minus e power minus t by RC. This is what you get. So generally for a capacitor of capacitance C and the cell EMF is V, then the maximum storage of this capacitor will be C times V. Okay, so let me write that equation as Q naught into 1 minus e power minus t by RC. So this Q naught is nothing but maximum charge that can be held in the capacitor. Okay, I hope you understand that. Now let us try to understand how this charging process happens using a graph. Now this is your q and time. So now generally we understood that at time t is equal to 0 charge should be 0. Okay, so when you are considering a particular time which is called a characteristic time, at that time t is equal to tau, which is equal to rc. This is also called a time constant. So if you substitute that in this equation, then you get q is equal to q naught into 1 minus e power minus t and rc are same, so you'll get 1 there. So generally e value is equal to 2.72 and 1 by e will be is equal to 0.368. Okay, so if you just substitute that values here, then you get 1 minus 0.368 will be nothing but 0.632 times q naught. So the beauty of this equation is in time tau, or in a particular time which is characteristic time, that the capacitor will be charged nearly 63.2%. So out of this total charge, 63.2% of its total charge will be obtained within this amount of time, characteristic time t is equal to rc. So basically it will charge very fast initially, and then it will go saturation almost, and it will slowly increase then. And so to reach q naught total charge, it will take a very long time. So that's how your charging process happens in a capacitor. Now if you want to see the graph of how this current looks like, so generally I is nothing but dq by dt, isn't it? Just apply that here, then you get dq by dt is nothing but I, that is equal to dq q naught is as it is, and if I differentiate 1, I'll get 0. E power minus t by rc, is when differentiation same, but you should get this component, the coefficient of this time should be in the multiplication factor, minus 1 by rc. Understand? So here this minus that minus gets cancelled, you get q naught by rc, isn't it? E power minus t by rc. So it is nothing but can I say this is I naught? Yes. So I is equal to I naught into e power minus t by rc. This is how your current is going to vary. If you want to draw the graph, it is actually exponential decay. Current is going to decay exponential, like this. You understand? Next, the maximum current is going to be q naught by rc here. Understand? Next, so if you want to see the voltage drop, then you know q is equal to cv. So if you substitute that cv and cv naught here, so v naught is actually initial potential. Okay, so c and c gets cancelled, you get v is equal to v naught into 1 minus e power minus t by rc. So this graph also would look like the same as your charge graph. Understand? Yes. Now this is about charging, how the charging process happen in a capacitor. Now let us talk about discharging process. So for discharging process, the circuit you can take it as this way. So here you have got a capacitor, and then let us consider a key here, and then there is a resistance. Okay, key K here, capacitance C, and resistor of resistance R. Now at a time t is equal to 0, at time t is, assume that it's completely charged, the capacitor is completely charged, then you have removed your battery. Okay, then at time t is equal to 0, and assume that the switch is just closed. At time t is equal to 0, then the charge in the capacitor will be q naught, isn't it? Yes. Now if I see the potential drops, or maybe if I apply this KVL, so generally if you have plus q here and minus q here, actually you have removed a battery here, so one plate of the capacitor will be having higher potential plate, or this one is called lower potential plate, where you have plus q or minus q charges respectively. Now if you see this, the charging process, in this case what happens, all the charge which will try to travel in this direction once you are closing the key. So then there will be a current constituted in this across this resistor. Okay. So now let us apply KVL. So along the path direction, your current is also in the same direction. Therefore, you get minus IR. Minus IR will be the potential drop across the resistance. What about potential drop across this? So here you are moving from lower potential region to higher potential region. So that's why the potential gain will be there. So you have to say plus VC is equal to 0. So what is VC? Q by C is equal to IR. Now let me take what is IR here? Generally dq by dt. Current is nothing but rate of flow of charge carriers. But here in the discharging process, charge is reducing. That means charge is decaying. In that process, with respect to time, charge is decreasing. So you can say minus here. So Q by C. Let me do this variable and separable once again. Then take RC minus 1 by RC dt to one side and dq by q to the other side. Now if I integrate on both sides, what will I get? So here minus 1 by RC integral dt is nothing but t. Okay, what about the limits? Initially at time t is equal to 0 to some time t. Okay, next here integral dq by q is nothing but log q, isn't it? So if I log q means log by c q. Now it is if I apply the lower limit and upper limit. So initially at time t is equal to 0, charge is actually q naught. Let us say after some time t, the charge has reached to q. Okay, so now it is nothing but if I substitute upper limit, I'll get minus t by RC. If I substitute lower limit, I'll get 0. So let me forget about that. Next, log q minus log q naught, isn't it? So can I write it as log q by q naught, which is equal to minus t by RC. So q by q naught is equal to e power minus t by RC, isn't it? I have just applied exponential on both sides. That's it. So here q is equal to q naught into e power minus t by RC. So this is how your discharging is going to happen. Okay, it is exponentially decaying. So initially the charge is actually like this, q. So maximum charge will be q naught. Okay, that is with respect to time, it's keep on decreasing very fastly. Okay, now at a particular time constant, or we can say characteristic time, at a time tau, the time is equal to, which is characteristic time, that is equal to RC. Then what will happen? Q is equal to q naught into e power minus RC by RC. So we'll get e power minus 1. 1 by e value is nothing but 0.368 times of q naught. So if you want to reach 36.8% of total charge, so nearly at time t is equal to tau, which is equal to RC, at that time what happens is the total charge will be almost reduced to 36.8%. Okay, so within a time of within a very small time, and then it will start decaying very slowly, and it will take infinite amount of time to reach zero charge, that you can see. So if you take e power minus infinity at t is equal to infinity, or t is tending to infinity, then I can say q is equal to q naught into e power minus infinity. E power minus infinity is 0, then the charge will be 0 at infinite amount of time. So this is how when discharging process will happen very fast in the initial, and it will take very slowly, it will take infinite amount of time to reach zero charge, completely discharging. Understand? So that's how the charge should be decaying. And what about current? Current is nothing but again dq by dt. So dq by dt is nothing but q naught into e power minus t by RC. If I differentiate this guy, e power minus t by RC, I'll get the same term into 1 minus 1 by RC. So here minus q naught by RC into e power minus t by RC. So this one we call it as I naught e power minus t by RC. So the behavior of current also will be looking like the same. And let us look at the potential now. Potential V is equal to so you know Q is equal to what? Q is equal to Q naught into e power minus t by RC. Now what about if I take capacitance, and Q is equal to CV generally. So CV is equal to CV naught into e power minus t by RC. So V naught is the initial potential, okay, across the and from the cell. So V is equal to V naught into e power minus t by RC. Okay, yes. So this is how you are going to have charging and discharging process in a RC circuit. So we'll take some problems from JEE in the next video. Thank you.